Hello nerds, we have another episode of the Week in Nerdom posted over on youtube.com/generallynerdy, which means we have another clip show for you. This clip show comes from the most recent episode of the Week in Nerdom, which is the big pop culture nerd news show over on that YouTube channel that I just previously mentioned. This is, we've got DC fandom to talk about, we've got some music videos to do reactions to, we've got a lot of stuff going on in this episode. For those of you unfamiliar, we talk about pop culture nerd news. We are not going to be talking about individual episodes or issues of comics or anything along those lines necessarily, unless it has a deeper impact on the culture at large. So there's a little bit of that, there's a little bit of everything. Let's get into the clips. So, gaming and tech, we do have one follow-up. Elden Ring is the next game from FromSoft. It is the next Souls-like game because they are the Souls production house. This is the game that they are teaming up with George R.R. Martin to, he helped write the story, and then they're obviously doing all the production. So we have a little bit of good news and then a little bit of bad news. First, the bad news. The game has been postponed. The release date has been pushed back 5 weeks. It was January 22nd of 2022, and it is now February 25th of 2022. But they are doing a network test, a beta test, if you will, that starts in November. I did not find a specific date, but you have until November 1st to sign up for this network test. It sounds like there's only going to be a certain number of hours during the day where you can opt in to play if you are accepted into the test. There is a link down in the description for you to follow if you are interested in doing such things. It sounds, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this game in spite of the fact that we've been covering it since it was announced. It sounds like there's going to be some online stuff here. A Souls-like game with online elements. I'm definitely intrigued with that one. Real quick, before we jump into the next bit of news, I'm just going to remind everybody we've got merch. You can find it over on the website, generallynerdy.net. You can go see, I've got a bunch of different stuff. There are 2 different nerd merch stores. If you go to the website, again, generallynerdy.net, go to the top of the page, there is a general store tab. Click on that and that will take you, actually technically there's 3 stores, though one of them is a collab that I did with somebody else, and then the other 2 are the stores that I have designed merch specifically for. So go click on any of those links and go check out all of the merch. Now let's continue into gaming and tech. This first one is Batman Cape Crusader. I can't remember if we covered this when, if it was even originally announced. There's been way too much time between and way too many things to talk about between then and now. So assuming we haven't talked about this yet, we did get a little bit of a tease. No idea exactly what the animation is going to look like, though we do have a little bit of a hint in that short that they did for the 75th anniversary of Batman, the black and white short. They did play some footage from that. Not the biggest fan of the character design for Batman, but we just need to talk about this Batman Cape Crusader real quick. This is going to be a new series from the creator of the original animated series from the 90s, Bruce Timm. So this sounds like they're going to be able to do the things that me watching the original animated series as an adult wish they could have done back then. As a kid, there was nothing better. Well, maybe the X-Men animated series. Maybe that one was better in my head at the time. But either way, this is still the definitive, to many, many people in my age group, this is the definitive version of Batman. So for them to be revisiting this, even if it is only a spiritual successor, is epic. And the fact that it is going directly to HBO Max means that they can, and it's also going to be geared towards people who grew up with that original animated series, means they're going to be able to do more things because censorship is not really an issue anymore. In the interview that we saw with Abrams and Matt Reeves and all of the other people involved, there was a hint that we are going to be getting a little bit more of a mature-oriented Batman. Language is going to be a thing. Violence is going to be a thing. We are going to be getting another definitive version of Batman, and that is exciting. I'm super excited about that. No word yet on who any of the voice casting is. Honestly, I'm hoping they go in a slightly different art direction than what we have seen from some of the promotional material. I don't like those ears. That's my one big gripe. I really hate those ears. If they can change that, then I'm 100% on board. If they don't change that, then I'm only like 99.999% on board. So either way, this looks like it's going to be amazing. It's just a fun one that I wanted to go out on, and that is Batman Ninja live action is getting an adaptation, but not a live action movie. This is going to be a play done in a theater in Japan. It's just too wonky to not mention. It looks pretty great. You should go check out the pictures. There's a website. If you happen to be going to Japan, I believe you can get tickets from the website. But yeah, either way, worth a look. Go check it out. Our next rumor has to do with the Splinter Cell franchise. Splinter Cell is reportedly getting a new game. Well, eventually. So the rumor says that there is a Splinter Cell game in the very beginning stages of development over at Ubisoft that will very likely take approximately 5 years or so, because that is roughly the time it takes to develop a game such as this. So we are a long ways off, according to this rumor. It's only one source. It's not a great source. And this franchise has been dead for so long. Like, if you can see the scribble on my notes. I want this to be a thing. I want this to be where Ubisoft is going. I really hope this is, I'm incorrect in my percentage of likelihood for this, but I really don't see this happening necessarily. Again, this is just a tease. For the entire episode, youtube.com/generallynerdy, generallynerdy.net, or patreon.com/generallynerdy to support more directly. Go check out all of this stuff. I appreciate you nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.